I said in another video I was going to explain the 6 levels of Shaktipat. We could say there are more, but let's just keep it to these 6. We have to understand that this includes things that I wouldn't normally call our Shaktipat, like Kundalini activation, but we can incorporate them into, if we consider Shaktipat has levels, we can incorporate them into it. And I hope this will help explain more about what I do on my courses and trainings and what other people also offer on their courses and trainings, just to give you a little bit more information when you're doing research to look into doing certain things. So if we consider there are 6 levels of Shaktipat, now I've got these written down, so to make sure everything is all there and I don't miss out any information. And I'm not going into the pros and cons of Shaktipat here or anything like that. And I'm not explaining everything in this video because some people love to come in and make these silly comments of, trying to get you to engage with them and being negative. And it's just like, oh God. And they say, oh, you shouldn't touch Shakti. And yeah, as I always say, you shouldn't learn to drive a car before you wish to drive a car. Yeah, great, great way of thinking. Good on you. Yeah. If you've received that information from other people, which obviously you have, just think about who you received that information from. Okay, anyway. So we have, let's just say it in English, shall we? The medium mild grace or medium mild Shaktipat, touch of energy. Shaktipat literally means touch of energy. So this is the least intense level, requiring dedicated and long-term spiritual practice for full awakenings or liberations. So what we're talking about here is using prana, using Tantra to awaken the Kundalini. It can be done. If you are going to do it by yourself, this is where you start. I give you the option on my channel to do it by yourself. However, yes, of course, if you play with matches, you can get burnt. Just understand that. That's why I always recommend people to take trainings and courses, whether it's with me or with other people. But this is why I make these videos, so you know what you're talking about when you go and approach these other people if you wish to train with them. So practitioners will start with a faint awareness of higher states, needing diligent purification and spiritual development. So this is, you will feel emotional release. You may have some movement, some activation. We could almost call this sort of a Reiki level transmission type of thing. And this can, of course, be often likened to, as well as Reiki, it can be Kundalini activation falls within this level. And this is also where the false gurus, unfortunately, there are people that call themselves gurus and they're false gurus, and they offer Shaktipat. This is what they are offering. So yes, it can go up to the sort of, the body movements and the liberation of sacred sexual energy. And don't get me wrong, it's nothing bad. It's just a level. Then we have the medium grace or medium touch of energy. This is a mild activation that necessitates sustained spiritual effort for sadhana and for liberation. It involves overcoming obstacles, purifying the mind, and deep practice. And this is where practitioners can experience glimpses of deeper consciousness. And this is where we're not in the Reiki level anymore. This is where we are definitely into the Kundalini activation, both a Kundalini activation level 1 and level 2, not Kundalini awakening, Kundalini activation. And this is where you definitely get into the demo videos of Kundalini activation, bodies moving, and but yeah. Level 3, medium, intense touch of energy. Moderate awakening demands considerable effort for full liberation. What I mean is, you have to do this for a very long time. It's going to take you a long time. So this is where yoga fits in. This is where the tantric teachers fit in. This is, transcendental meditation. This is where all of these fit in. Again, great things, don't get me wrong, but it's going to take a long time. And this is where you will experience periodic higher awareness or bliss, which does, of course, motivate you for continued practice. And it is a level that is commonly reached in Kundalini activation, level 1, level 2, and other practices. Great stuff, absolutely amazing stuff. Yeah, if that's what you're looking for, go find people that do Kundalini activation, because it is awesome. Then we have intense, mild touch of energy. This is potent activation, but it still needs significant spiritual practice and discipline for a full awakening and stabilization. Recipients can gain profound spiritual insights and glimpses of higher consciousness, requiring, again, consistent practice over time. This is attainable by nearly everybody in most courses and trainings these days with Kundalini. However, this is where, if you have played with matches and been burnt, you don't want to go this high. If you have been burnt with energies, you need to go and, dare I say it, eat meat, go lift weights, take time off from this, let your body recover before you go to this level. To anyone who's experienced negative things, you need to ground yourself. And this is why I say, you shouldn't necessarily be vegetarian or vegan whilst doing this, because by eating meats, they are very grounding. Now, some people will say that will hinder you in your process. Okay, that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is by doing things like lifting weights, by eating meat, you're actually grounding yourself, because these are denser energies and denser activities. It will help you do things in a more safe way, because it will slow the thing down. Gym, heavy weights, eating meat is not a bad thing when doing this stuff, despite what people say. It will help you do things in a safer way. It might take slightly longer. It might not, but it does keep things safer. Then we go to intense medium. So we've had medium mild, medium medium, medium intense, intense mild. Done that one, right? Yes. Now we go to intense medium. Powerful awakening accelerates liberation, but requires some spiritual practice for stabilization. Residual mental patterns and karmas may need addressing for complete realization. This is where you find a lot of, well, not a lot, this is where you find a few people working. I could name a few, I can tell you a few. I'm not going to, because I don't have their permission. I haven't asked their permission to say that they're working at this level, but there are some out there doing great, great stuff. Absolutely brilliant. And this is where we get to the point of you're not really being given energy anymore. It's not a passive thing where you're lying down like Kundalini activation. It's where you are starting to take the energy. And this is why I say true Shaktipat is not given, it's taken. And this is where we start to get to this level. And you have to leave your egoic mind behind. You have to let go of your programming here, because we are getting to very powerful levels. It does still take practice. This is where we are talking about partial awakenings occur that just need practice to make that connection permanent. Absolutely awesome stuff. My courses and trainings, we are really focusing on this level, level 5 and level 6. This is where we're working at. That's why I say, whilst you can be a beginner and come and train with me, especially taking the 52-week program, that's a great place to start there. And also the 8-week trainings, or the intense individual level 1 training, where we're covering the previous things, and then into the level 2, we're starting to get, or we get to this level and level 6. And then we have level 6, which is the intense Shaktipat. This is the highest level of Shaktipat, resulting in immediate and complete awakening, offering instant liberation. Not without its drawbacks. Going to instant karmic liberations, if you're still attached to some of them, they're going to hold you back. And this is why within my trainings, I do state not everyone reaches the same level, because for those people who are not ready to break their programming, they are not ready to go further, they are not ready to make that connection permanent, which is something actually you do. Yes, in ancient teachings, they would say that's something the guru does. No, that is something between the guru and the student, but it is the student that does it. Consciously or unconsciously, that's a good question. If it's done unconsciously, amazing. It can be done consciously. There are many things that we can use to help us, as I said, along this path. Hypnotherapy can help us. Emotional release. There are lots of things that can help us go down this path. So just be aware of these levels when you're going to seek trainings, to seek courses, to seek masters, to seek gurus. And use this information to be able to identify whether they are true gurus, whether they are false gurus, true guru, sadguru, masters, teachers, whatever you want to call them. Understand the level that they're working at. Question them at the levels they're working at what they can teach you, where they're at. Now, there are people that work at the lower levels and absolutely amazing teachers. There are people that work at the intermediate levels, amazing teachers, and there are people that work at the higher levels. But don't let the teachers of the lower levels or the medium levels, that they are stuck at those levels with their fears, don't let them stop you from seeking the path you wish. Because you can have 10 gurus that are absolutely amazing and one false guru. And through fear-driven publicity and filters that people will say, don't do this because of the one false one. Go find the 10. Go speak to the 10 or the 11. Find the false one. Don't work with them. Just do your own independent research. Question them. So I offer with my trainings free Q&A sessions, so you can come before trainings and you can ask me about these things. So I can answer your questions. So you can choose whether you wish to study with me or not, whether you wish to start at lower levels first. absolutely brilliant. Whether you wish to go directly with me and study with me, that's up to you. For those that do wish to study with me, also know that in those Q&A sessions, I'm not going to offer you a special deal to get you to sign up. People will sign up when people are ready. The price is the price. There are no special offers, there are no special deals to be had for your evolution, your personal spiritual development. It's not $6,000 reduced to $50 for today only. That's a marketing tool that people need to use to almost trick you or convince you to doing something. I don't need to trick you or convince you to do anything. If you know what I teach is right for you, you're going to know it. And this should go for everybody else. TheAwakening.com, TheAwakeningEnergy.com, you will find my trainings, you will find my courses. You can find other great people out there. There are some amazing trainings and courses out there at the different levels, offering the different levels. Just be aware that their fears can stop you from reaching your potential as well, based on the reason they work at the levels they work at. Everybody has their level. I'm not judging people for that. I'm just saying, understand if they work at a medium level, that's absolutely awesome, and that can be awesome for you. But they work at a medium level because they don't want to go further. They're not ready, perhaps in this lifetime or perhaps just at the moment. Because they still have karma, they still have fears that they need to work through. Don't let those be your deciding factor of going beyond them. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Comment on the video. And if you are one of those people that wants to write something negative, most of the time the people that write negative comments, they read the title or they watch 3 seconds. So they probably don't get to this part of the video. But if you have something to say that is a really good, valid point and you don't agree with me, brilliant, put it in. If you're going to state the regular, standard, fear-based things that people say through total ignorance, don't bother. It's not worth it, because it just shows your level of programming. And it just shows that you need to work through that and go and find people that can really help you.